Welcome to episode 42 on the law rapport. Now there's a lull in the crime situation in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We could return to a more mainstream aspect of our videos, which has been the trend before the escalation in crime and violence in the Turks and Caicos Islands. As you will remember, previously we brought you 2 episodes concerning a public prosecutor in the Turks and Caicos Islands, Miss Sophia Thomas, who was now resigned and returned to her native Jamaica, and she was found guilty by the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Counsel in Jamaica for violation of the canons of professional ethics while prosecuting a fraud case in Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court in November 2017. Well, there is some development in that matter. I will bring that to you shortly, but before I do, nothing that I say in this episode is legal advice. Nothing that I say should be construed as legal advice. For legal advice, please contact an attorney of your choice. Welcome back. According to a report in the Jamaica Gleaner newspaper, its online edition, dated the 30th of September 2022, it appears that Miss Sophia Thomas was suspended from practicing as an attorney for 6 months. And it seems that that is the sanction for her being found guilty of professional misconduct. I will just read from the article, which it appears was authored by one Barbara Gale. The article begins: the first prosecutor in Jamaica's legal history to be found guilty of professional misconduct, Sophia Thomas, was today suspended from practicing as a lawyer for 6 months effective the 1st of November. Thomas was also ordered by the General Legal Counsel to pay $100,000 in legal costs to the complainant Lowell Spence, a National Commercial Branch manager, and $300,000 in legal costs to the legal oversight body, and I'm presuming that that is Jamaican dollars. She was also ordered to participate in 2 ethics courses. The disciplinary committee of the General Legal Counsel found that while Thomas worked in the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions, she violated the canons of professional ethics while prosecuting a fraud case in Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court in November 2017. The ruling arose from a complaint made in 2019 by Spence, who was freed of the fraud charges in November 2017. Spence complained that Thomas knowingly used false and/or participated in the creation or use of evidence that she knew to be false. The matter was taken to the General Legal Counsel, and Thomas was found guilty of professional misconduct. Thomas's attorney Hugh Wildman, has stated that she has strong grounds of appeal and will be taking the matter to the Court of Appeal. The decision came down while she was on secondment to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Arising from the ruling, Thomas subsequently resigned from that post in mid-August and has since moved to seek a return to her job in Jamaica. Her request was sent by Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn to the Public Service Commission for advice and decision. So it appears that Ms. Thomas is seeking to regain her old job in the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions in Jamaica. And in 6 months, she will be back in the courtroom to ply her trade. Now, in my respectful view, Ms. Thomas, as she currently stands, is damaged goods. No defense lawyer will ever take anything that she say or do at face value and would not give her the benefit of comradeship, because what she allegedly did and was found guilty of, in my view, is an egregious breach which no doubt brought the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions in Jamaica into disrepute, and by extension the legal profession. But I believe in second chances, and Ms. Thomas could rehabilitate herself and reform and come back stronger, wiser, and determined to uphold the highest standards of the legal profession. Nevertheless, I am still at a loss as to why she was ever hired as a prosecutor in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in Turks and Caicos when these serious allegations were hanging over her head. This is in no way to undermine Mrs. Thomas' presumption of innocence, but in my view, to hire her at the time when these allegations were outstanding was a flaw in those who hired her and in the whole hiring process, and something that should not be repeated ever again in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Here is where I will leave this one for today. This has been a very short episode. As usual, I appreciate your comments. If you have any, leave it in the comment section below, and I will see you in another episode. Thank you for watching.